Hello, hello. This is the My Artifact episode number 3918. Today's date is 2nd of March 2027 or 26. It's been almost like a night at 9:54 p.m. All right, let's just jump into the question. Let's go. All right. The question is, what is one expenses I can reduce or eliminate without negatively affecting my happiness or quality of life? Oh, that's a really good question. Okay. Okay, first of all, what exactly is this question and why am I asking this question to myself? Couple of week ago, I read a book, Psychology of Money. Really amazing book. I wanted to implement the book in my life. How do I supposed to do that? Asking question to myself. So I went to ChatGPT, say this thing that key I wanted to implement the value that book taught me. Suggest me at least 20 question. So this is one of those question. Now, regarding about the question says that which one expenses can I reduce to eliminate without negatively affecting my life or kind of like some happiness or quality of life and things and that and that. What is the one thing that I could kind of like something like basically the question is actually about that he are you spending on something that if you stop it then probably you might save a lot of money. Like I don't know how to supposed to explain this thing. Okay, yeah. It's a kind of like some this thing. First of all, is that key like regarding about the question says that key the money that you are spending, are you spending on such a money that you are not using it any kind of like some stuff? So is there any kind of like some stuff that you are not using but you are paying money for that? So you can able to be stop that thing and save a lot of money, right? So do I have kind of like a spend something that probably kind of like a feel something like wrong? If I'm gonna say okay that I'm kind of like actually spending money, okay, I'm not kind of like a spend that much amount of money. Okay, let me tell you one thing. Subscription. Okay, subscription is a kind of like a thing that most of people don't really use it, but they buy. Okay, yeah. So what kind of like a subscription do I have? So let me open my phone pay and kind of like a look at how many kind of like a auto pay I have. Okay. So first of all, I have gold investment. Okay, yeah. I actually invest 20 rupees per day and it is very essential. It's an investment. So it will definitely gonna add a value. So yeah, I will not gonna unsubscribe that. This subscription will gonna turn on. Now another thing is that I also subscribe Google Play Store for 99 rupees. Okay, what is that for? Oh, that is for Truecaller. Okay, yeah. Okay. What is Truecaller? Truecaller is the application, by the way, which is a kind of like a preventing the scam and things and that and that. Okay, yeah. Why am I kind of like a somebody spend 99 rupees on that? Because I think that na ki like if I'm not kind of like a somebody spend the scamster, like basically is this thing na ki I wanted to protect myself. Like I am like okay, let me tell you one thing what exactly happened. Okay, there is a like this kind of like a very fuck thing happened. Okay, yeah. So I was kind of like a checking my CIBIL score. Okay, yeah. So while I was kind of like simply checking my CIBIL score, I'm getting my score is almost like a good. Okay, yeah. Now there are a couple of factor that kind of like a tell us that ki why your CIBIL score is a kind of like a like which factor is kind of like affecting your CIBIL score. Okay, yeah. Then they say that ki your credit card utilization. Okay, yeah. So my credit card utilization is almost like a 56%. So try to stop that thing. Okay, so am I kind of like using that much credit card? Well, like basically, I'm not using my credit card. Like actually, the credit card is mine, but the problem is that na ki one of my friend Prashik, who is a kind of like a something wants something, like he's kind of like a somebody spending money and he need a credit card, and his credit card is actually stole. So that's why he's kind of like using my card to pay his payment. By the way, every end of the month he kind of like gave all the money. Okay, yeah. So last month he kind of like spent almost like a 25,000 rupees, and this month too he also spent 25,000 rupees from my card. Is it wrong? Well, I'm not really sure. Is it? Yeah, it might be wrong, but probably I have to be controlled. Yeah, like basically, like I do have faith in him that he is kind of like giving the money on the time. Okay, yeah. So it's not really that money problem. Okay, yeah. But the problem is that does it kind of like impact me? Well, he's using my credit card and he kind of like gave money on time. So probably it would be good. Okay, but still I will have to be kind of like make sure that it might not gonna impact in the future. Okay, yeah, but still it is impacting na, like basically your credit card utilization is kind of like somebody 56%. So like my credit limit is a 52,000. Okay, yeah, and if you spend 25,000 rupees, then probably almost like a half of the card is actually utilized. So I don't want. Okay, yeah, I am gonna make sure that next month he will not gonna utilize that card, because right now is actually affecting. But that is not the big problem. The big problem is that there is also loan sanction on my account on my name, and literally I was like a froze. Like what exactly happened today? I was kind of like somebody checking my CIBIL score, and suddenly I realized that there is someone kind of like somebody Indian Overseas Bank who kind of like something give me a loan, personal loan. Okay, yeah, almost like a 1,047 lakh. Sorry, 1,47,000. Okay, yeah, and I was like, what the fuck? Like I haven't really kind of like take a kind of like a loan and things, and how does that loan is actually in my head and things and that and that. So I was like a really like just feel like a fuck. Okay, yeah. Then I kind of like a look, and then I kind of like a check very thoroughly regarding about that key, is it right or not. Okay, yeah. Then I kind of like a talk to the customer care of that Indian Overseas Bank. Okay, yeah. They say that we can solve your problem, but you have to visit the branch. So tomorrow is a holy, so tomorrow might be bank is turn off or shut down or holiday. But day after tomorrow I will gonna go to the overseas bank and I will gonna confront them. Today is also kind of like a bank was shut down. Okay, yeah, because today is also holy. Like we have 2 days of holy. Okay, like today is a kind of like a small holy, and tomorrow is a big holy. Okay, yeah. So there is a kind of, today I went to the bank, but they say that the operation is kind of like a shut down for the customer. So probably I have to be go day after tomorrow and kind of like a look for that. By the way, is this thing, I'm very much scared regarding what such thing happened. Okay, yeah. The problem is that like how this actually happened. Like basically is this thing I didn't really know when this thing actually happened. I didn't really know when this kind of like a loan sanction and things and that, and without even notice, like basically how this actually happened, how they have my credit card details, how they have my PAN card detail, how they have my Aadhaar card details and things and that and that. And even after they have like a probably is this thing if you wanted to kind of like do a loan, there are a lot of verification actually happened. Okay, yeah, like a photo scan, signature scan, biometric scan, lot of thing actually happened, and then they sanctioned the loan. By the way, the loan is actually given on gold loan. Okay, yeah, I don't know who kind of like did that thing, but probably it's not really good thing. Okay, yeah, so I have to be figured out. I'm kind of like very much scared and that. So day after tomorrow I will gonna go there and things and that. Okay, yeah, like okay, right now I'm kind of like somebody look really control, like look really kind of like a normal, the way that I'm saying right now is because of that like sometimes something happened, chaos happened that you cannot control. Okay, yeah. And when chaos happened, it's really essential to be a calm. Okay, yeah. Because when you are not calm, you are kind of like always been kind of like things that what the fuck is actually happened, scam happened, things and that happen, and you kind of like simply take stress, and that stress will kind of like impact you a lot. Like basically is this thing now, when I kind of like realized that that happened, I couldn't able to do my work. Like literally, just like I was kind of like a shaking and things and that. I just thought that ki, let's go to the bank, but suddenly the bank was kind of like a holiday and things and that and that. So it's just like that. Na, I was kind of like a call customer care. They say that ki, come day after tomorrow, after the Holi and things and that and that. Then we will figure it out and things like that. I was kind of like a very stressed, but then I realized that no, I have to stop myself because it's not good. Okay, yeah, because like basically because of this thing, I kind of like a simply I create my content, but probably this is what exactly happened. Na, ki I was like a very much stressed and I couldn't able to be focused on my content and things like that. I lost almost like a 2 hour of my work and things like that. So it just really fucked up. So I just kind of like assembly control myself, and that's why I'm kind of like a very much calm right now. Okay, yeah. And also is this thing na ki I know this is kind of like a very fuck thing happened, but still is this thing that ki there is like a hope that I could suppose, like I call customer care, like the Indian Overseas Bank care. They say that ki we will kind of like a hold. Okay, I don't really worry, don't really kind of like a like they say that ki don't worry about this thing. Okay, yeah. We will kind of like a stop this thing. Okay, but you just have to visit to the bank branch and then we'll kind of like a figure it out and things like that. So this is kind of like a really fuck happened. Whatever. Okay, like not gonna talk about that thing. Like when I talk about that particular stuff now, it just my brain got kind of like a melt and I was kind of like a very much stress and things like that. So I just try to make my cool. Okay, yeah. Another thing is that thing ki, okay, what kind of like some money that I'm spending. Okay, yeah. Netflix, yeah, I'm spending almost like a 200 rupees per month. Am I using Netflix? Well, I'm not. Like basically I use, but probably is this thing. Actually, this is a share account. Like a this Netflix account is I and my sister is actually sharing both. Okay, yeah. So basically, is this thing that ki, even if I didn't really watch, my sister actually watch. Okay, yeah. So yeah, it's kind of like a utilization, and 200 rupees is a yeah, it's okay. Yeah. Then 1,000 rupees that I spend every single month on SIP. Okay, that is also really essential. Okay, yeah. These are kind of like a summary the subscription do I have at the moment. Okay, yeah. By the way, I do have a kind of like another subscription. Okay, yeah. Brilliant is also kind of like application that I have subscribed. Then Duolingo, Lumosity, and Elevate. These are the four application four application are kind of like a simply the like a brain training application. Okay, yeah. And I subscribe those kind of like a simply application for a year. Okay, and I spend that much amount of money, and I realized that ki I shouldn't supposed to be spend that much amount of money, so I canceled that subscription. But still I have year of subscription, like almost like a November 2026 those subscription will gonna end. So till then I will kind of like utilize that application, and I'm utilizing it every single day. I do the brain training and it would be really good. Okay, yeah. And I also realized that I can use this application for free too. Okay, yeah. Because is this thing na ki like I shouldn't supposed to pay that much amount of money and things and that. Specifically that Brilliant application which cost me almost like a 5,000 rupees subscription. 5,000 rupees, which is like they have a lot of courses by the way, but still I don't really need that much. 5,000 rupees subscription is a very too much. So yeah, I canceled that subscription by the way. So yeah, but still I paid that much amount of money. Also, I do have a YouTube subscription. Okay, I have YouTube Premium, and which is also really essential because I watch lot of YouTube videos. Okay, like instead of buying any kind of like a movies or things, but I watch a lot of YouTube videos, and in the YouTube video I watch kind of like a lot of kind of like information regarding about history, geography, politics, lot of stuff. All the information that I have is actually come from the YouTube, and I kind of like watch that much amount of so many stuff. Okay, yeah. By the way, I could able to watch that many video, but I have to watch the kind of like some advertisement, and advertisement is a kind of like a really fuck. Yeah. Basically is this na ki yeah, like if you think that now why are you kind of like somebody spending money on Premiere, like you could able to be watch that much amount of kind of like a video. You just have to watch the advertisement, or maybe you have to skip the advertisement, right? But dude, what is actually happened na ki, like I was kind of like doing it that before. Okay, yeah. The problem is that ki when you do this thing na, when you kind of like see the advertisement and things and that, it kind of like a crippled. Okay, yeah. It kind of like a somebody stop and things. I don't know, yeah. This advertisement kind of like a somebody just like basically stop knowing me more stuff. Like it's kind of like a thing. It just kind of like a, like yeah, I wanted to kind of like experience this knowledge taking information as much as pure as I want. Advertisement is a kind of like a somebody, and also I'm not spending that much amount of money, almost like maybe 79 rupees per month, which is kind of like a very less amount of money for kind of like a YouTube Premiere. Okay, so that is for okay, dude. Yeah, that's really good, really good. Okay, yeah. Also, I have Amazon Premium. Oh, sorry, I have also Amazon Prime to subscribe. Okay, yeah. Which is also kind of like a somebody is this thing that ki I bought this premium. I bought this kind of like Amazon Prime kind of like a somebody a couple of months ago, and which is almost like a for a year. Okay, yeah, like a 1,400 rupees per year. Okay, yeah. And also this account is also shared between me and my sister, so it's also okayish. Okay, yeah. Like I'm not kind of like utilizing Prime that much. Like I was utilizing like basically last time I watched a kind of like a something like couple of days ago I was like I don't know, sometime I kind of like get boring while doing my work, sometime like I don't want to watch, I just want to entertain, so then I kind of like scroll through things and that. Okay, yeah. By the way, Hotstar I unsubscribed a couple of days ago. I unsubscribed that subscription. Hotstar is like I don't really use that much. Like I have Netflix and Amazon Prime, so probably I shouldn't supposed to be use Hotstar. Okay, and also Hotstar they have a lot of libraries too, but still I could use Hotstar for free. Okay, yeah, because I have a Jio SIM card, and it's kind of like a somebody I could access so many kind of like a somebody, so many kind of like a somebody the shows for free. Okay, with the ads. Okay, and I could do it. It's not really that much bothering. Okay, then yeah, these are kind of like a somebody subscription do I have, and most of the subscription are kind of like a very much essential. It's not really that I don't really have that much kind of like a somebody subscription that I'm not using it. Every subscription are kind of like a meant to do something. So yeah. So but is there kind of like a things that you wanted to kind of like a not use any kind of like a subscription that might be kind of like a somebody the like a big relief? Probably nothing. Like basically this, you know, if I'm kind of like a thinking about how much money do I spend, probably not, I'm not spending that much amount of money. As if I'm like whatever the money that I'm spending is almost for essential purposes, not for kind of like a somebody is this thing and that. Okay, so and also is this thing now regarding about spending money, I am very much in control. Okay, so I'm good. Okay, and probably whatever the stuff that I buy, probably kind of like a, maybe reliable or very essential and things. So yeah, okay. But if I wanted to kind of like a stop any kind of like stuff, I wanted to stop the Netflix. Okay, yeah, because Netflix cost 200 rupees per month, almost like a 2,400 rupees per year, which is I don't really think that it's a really good idea to invest that much amount of money on Netflix. But still, is this thing? It's a share account, so it's okay. Yeah. So yeah, another thing is that I also spend almost like a 600 rupees on cable TV. Okay, no, cable TV is also really essential. Now, like basically, it's a family thing. You have to be spent on the cable. You have to spend channel. Okay, yeah. It's not 600. It's a kind of like a 565 rupees per month. So yeah, like oh, yeah, like if you stop this thing, then like basically my father used TV, my mother used TV, like all my family member watch TV. So yeah, and I also have very selected TV channels. Okay, not really that much. So probably yeah. But one of the biggest thing now, like what is actually kind of like somebody is this thing that ki biggest expenses that I have is not from the subscription. It's from the kind of like a things that na ki other expenses. Like other expenses what? Like today what exactly happened, my brother kind of like called me. He says that he need a kind of like a 500 rupees. Now basically what should I supposed to do? Should I not give him that money or things and that? Like probably this kind of like a money that I'm spending is like on people. And something I feel like that kid, dude, yeah. But still is this thing that he just called and he really needed, so I said, yeah, let's just give him money, things like that. Okay, I said kind of like a send him money, 5,000 rupees. Sorry, 500 rupees. Okay. Also, by the way, there is a one good news actually happening. Okay, yeah. It's not a good news. Okay, yeah. Okay, so USA and Israel are attacking the Iran, and Iranian prime minister or the leader are died. Okay, he's died. Okay, yeah. Now it's not a good it's not a good news. Okay, yeah. Like I'm not kind of like a talk about the kind of like a political stuff. Okay, yeah, it's not like not my concern. What I'm saying is this thing that because of this war actually happening. Okay, yeah, the gold prices is kind of like a simply skyrocket, like literally like within a couple of days. I was neverly think about that key. Oh my god. Okay, let me tell you one thing. Okay, so basically till now I kind of like assembly my principal amount that I kind of like assembly, like a principal amount means how much money did I spend on gold, okay, for investment of gold, till now is almost like a 3,305 rupees. Okay, yeah. And and almost like a 16.53% improvement happened from last kind of like a last 2-3 days. Like I don't know, like a within a month. Okay, like let's just say like in this month. Okay, yeah, 11.9%, the 11.9% gold prices is actually increase. Okay, and specifically from last week, like literally from last 2 days, the graph is kind of like a went so ahead, like literally just like a skyrocketing. Okay, yeah, probably is this thing. I'm kind of like earning that much amount of money from the gold prices. So is it kind of like something very good news? But it's not good news. Yeah, like as soon as this kind of like a war and things actually happen, drop, then this gold prices will kind of like a somebody like a stop or kind of like a somebody is this thing. So yeah, my mother called me. All right, so this is it. I should supposed to be end here, and thank you.